guys, welcome back to the podcast with no name. I'm here with Ewan.
Hello.
And today we are going to be discussing a wide range of topics that we totally know what they are at this
That's
stage.
code for we have no clue what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, it's going to be spontaneous.
Yeah, that's what everyone want to talk about, really, isn't it?
But yeah, that's who we are. We ain't going to change that. If you don't like it, then tell us, I suppose.
I was going to say don't listen, but please do.
Yeah, listen, just tell us. I mean, we're up for any sort of feedback.
Speaking of feedback,
We need a new name. But before we get into that, guys, I would just really like to say a big thank you from me. I went Geordie then. A big thank you from me and Ewan, because the support that we received was
immense. It was amazing.
It was unbelievable. Like, we didn't expect that. We just did this as like a sort of like a pilot, like a try, and it just sort of
blew up.
Yeah, like I didn't like.
We were expecting a slow start, not even barely 30 views was we were expecting to reach, not even that.
Yeah, if we got like one view, I was gonna be like, Mum,
I was happy. Yeah,
I'm happy. Like, but yeah, I mean, obviously
within the first day we had like 99 views.
Yeah, and I think obviously we would have been happy with however many, and any praise we got, we would have been overwhelmed with, and any criticism or, constructive points that people had, I think would have, we would have taken on board, because we still are willing to do that, and that's what you're going to find out with what we're going to mention next.
For example, the audio, I've made the levels a bit better this time, so hopefully it shouldn't sound as, well, I wouldn't say bad, because I just copied the levels last time, but this time I've just made the level of the microphone stick, so it should be, I don't have to make a copy of the sound every time in the post. One person I would like to thank, because for some reason it didn't go on the YouTube comments, but I read it from his phone. Will, I loved your comment. It was so constructive and really well put. I mean, I loved everybody else's, but I remember just reading Will's, and it was it actually made me want to do more of it. It was great.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, you just mentioned one, but I would like to say that obviously we're like just, two guys in a spare room talking into a microphone, but I think one thing I would like to say is that we like the fact that we can hopefully stay grounded throughout the process.
Continue doing it.
Continue doing it, and obviously on the first night I was trying to do work, but I just kept getting pings, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I think throughout it, however far it goes or however far it doesn't go, any comments that we get, positive, constructive, whatever, I will reply to every single one,
or at least try to an extent.
Yeah, I mean, within an hour or like less of it being posted, as long as I'm in Wi-Fi. But obviously, people who know me know that I'm not very out there in the social media
active
sense.
With it. Yeah,
I
have it to look at. I have it to follow other people, as it were, like family and friends. That's it. I don't really post.
I like my own privacy. I'm quite private in that. I'm very sociable when I'm out with people, but in my own sense, there's privacy and
to do with the internet.
That's what I like to do. But obviously, because you guys, especially the ones that wrote the longer ones, but also the short ones, still mean exactly the same. You guys took the time out of your schedule just to write a comment, and that meant a lot to me. To be fair, and that's why I'd like to take the time out of my schedule to
record episodes for you
record
guys,
episodes, reply to comments, and just say thank you. So
our way of giving back.
Yeah, and with that emotional sentiment, into some more fun,
hopefully,
things for you guys to listen to. And we don't blame you if you just skip that, but whatever you want to do. Anyway. So, we have a bit of an announcement to make, though. We are going to have to change the name of the podcast. We don't want to, but I think the end goal, after a few episodes anyway, was to change it. But we need to change it.
We found other people also called TPWNN, but they started like actually uploading podcasts when we were talking about actually making this podcast in general.
And like the original recordings that have been lost. I mean, you can't see me do that, but that was sarcasm.
Yeah.
They will be released potentially at some point. We're not sure when, but if there's a demand for them, then they might get
there will
released.
be a demand for them, I'm sure.
Yeah. We aren't hiding anything. We just needed to get an episode out, so we chose one of the many. So the first thing I want to say is, if anyone has any ideas for a podcast name that I wouldn't say do loads of research into it, but I would search it first, please put it down in the comments underneath the video. That would be very nice. And if not, Ewan has an idea, and we'd like to know your thoughts on it.
It's basic. It's the same principle as the one we have right now. It's just The Nameless Podcast, or TNP.
Mm-hmm.
That's my idea. It's the same idea in a sense.
Yeah.
I was hoping for this, if you guys could think of something, if you were going to look something up, something generic, not topic specific.
Yeah, and I think something that still has that anonymity about it.
Yeah.
That maybe is sort of the character of our show anyway, in that sense.
Yeah, because we talk about everything in the sense.
Everything and anything, yet nothing no one cares about. Which I realise now, saying nothing no one cares about is sort of a double negative.
Especially with what you were talking about at the beginning of the episode.
Yeah, anyway. So we've addressed the thank you, and we've addressed the announcement.
Yeah, the change of the name.
Yeah.
Now we have no idea what we're going to talk about.
This is going to be fun. Please don't turn off. So there's so many things in the news. One of which is, much like the podcast, not going to be named. We have been asked to do it.
The B word.
The B word.
If it wasn't obvious.
There's so many that the B word could be.
It could be so many, but we're not going to mention it anyway.
But go into the current news climate and you'll work it out.
It's happening on the 31st. How's that?
Yeah.
31st of October.
And it ain't no Halloween.
Supposedly.
So
yeah, we'll just skip past that. That's as much as we're going to talk about that.
If you really, 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 really can't live without us
talking about
the B word, you neither said it.
I almost did, actually, yeah.
Then we will, but my one reason, I'm sure he has a lot more, but my one reason is I am not qualified enough, and my views on it would probably be wrong to most people, so I'm not gonna. I know that's very enticing, but I'm not going to go into it, because if I said something, I don't want anyone to take it too seriously, because I'm not educated enough to really suggest what we should do. I'm not going in and out of it.
You don't keep track with it.
Yeah, I'm not going in and out of it every day, just like, I'm in the office, guys, let's go to Brussels and sort some stuffs out. But anyway. Well,
my main reason is because it's to do with politics, it's argumentative, and that's kind of not what I want this podcast to be about.
Yeah.
Like, arguments between a thing. I mean, last episode we have stuff people who like baked beans and people who don't.
We're happy to
By the
do
way,
that.
thank you. I'm glad many people are on my side in that argument to do with baked beans.
I'm not going to lie to you. I think it's a rather offensive stance that some people took. I realise that a hashtag has been going around, which, I'm not going to lie,
Team Ewan.
I didn't expect the fact that all the people who don't like beans just wouldn't comment anyway. Like, I've spoken to so many people about it, and they were like, oh, I don't like beans. Well, I'm like, comment then. And they're like, no. So I'm just left alone to look like some bean hater.
My team's strong.
Yeah, your team's strong. Surprisingly strong. I swear, like, Heinz have been sending out some, like, scary messages, making the whole world like beans, bar me, and I just didn't see the advert.
What is it that you have against it, though?
Oh, we're going to make a bean debate episode.
We're going to have to at this point.
I wouldn't say that. Right, this might give some more context. I'm not a big fan of mushy peas.
Neither am I.
And baked beans, again, it's just like, they've got the same sort of tech. Do you get what I mean? Like, if you've got chips with like your mushy peas and your baked beans, you have the same sort of, your chips are getting soft, like, and I don't like that softness of my chips. I don't mind ketchup.
I mean, then again, it is more viscous in a way.
It's slightly more together.
Yeah.
It's got itself together a bit more. It's got its life sorted
Slightly
out.
more together. It's got its bills paid.
It's a dependable sauce.
It's getting a promotion soon.
Yeah. It's like, it's everything that I'm not.
So it's just texture then?
In a way, I'm like a baked bean sauce, but I don't like them. I am very not
You're going down a
sorted
deep
out.
rabbit hole here.
Yeah.
You're like a baked bean sauce.
Yeah. Analogies, great. I said I'd never get into analogies, but we did. Anyway, so I don't know. It's just from a point of view of baked beans. I think obviously, sort of like 70% of the population probably likes them, like a good amount.
Yeah.
But I am not one of those in the population.
So you're one of those people who just don't like, entirely would not even touch it if it touched your chips or whatever else you're having it with.
Oh, I would not. Like, no.
You're like that child if
Yeah.
a carrot touches a chip or something like, no, I'm not touching it.
I wouldn't go to that extent. I'd just put it in the bin.
I think that's further than
No, I'm
the
joking.
extent.
No, I'm joking. I'd just eat, like, as in, I'd eat, like, everything that was on the other side of the border.
Okay.
And
Then again, I'm like that with coleslaw. I don't like coleslaw.
You see, there's one reason why I never get in the situation where I have to eat other things on the side of the border. I just tell people I don't like beans, and then they don't put it on my plate.
Fair enough. It's like whenever whenever I go out for a burger or something, some places I know, because I've never been a big fan of tomatoes, and I've recently started having them, just because it goes
Health
well.
drive.
I guess you could say that, but it's more with it goes with the flavour, and I've always heard that complaint of it goes with the flavour. Just have it anyway. If it's a thick tomato, and I know that because I know places that put thick slices of tomato in the burger, I'll go, I won't have the tomato then, please. And same with pickle. If the pickles touch my burger, I'm not touching that burger. I'm not having it.
I don't understand pickles, because one, not many people like them. Not like, I don't think.
Are pickles and gherkins the same thing?
Gherkin, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think a gherkin is like a type of pickle, like it's within the pickle genre.
Species.
Yeah, like, I'm pretty sure. But my second reason is, like, other than people not liking it, is that they embarrass people.
What?
Pickles embarrass people. You know the jar? It's famously known for being hard to open. It's like a reduction of anybody's, like, strength, because you can hit the gym for like hours a day, and then you'll just get home.
You feel all good about yourself. Your self-esteem is low, and then you go to open a pickle jar, and
Yeah.
it just destroys your self-confidence.
You're just like, I'm not leaving the house tomorrow. The pickle jar has won.
I'm gonna eat ice cream all day.
Today, I will not open another can.
We lost the battle, but not the war.
Yeah. Get the sledgehammer next time. I will be ready.
I remember when I was in America, there was this waitress trying to open up a pickle jar, and she eventually got it, but she broke the jar and cut her hand on the glass.
Oh.
My first thought was,
Oh.
because I don't know how they're made. I think it's literally you just put a cucumber, like a mini cucumber, inside of like water, and it just leave it or something like that.
Potentially. Who knows?
I don't know. Ferment. I don't know, but yeah.
Yeah.
And my first thought was, she gonna get an infection from pickles. From pickle juice.
I mean, I doubt it, because then people wouldn't eat them.
Yeah.
But I suppose we're now going to just have, like, that one guy, or just, you know, a bunch of people that are just big old pickle fanatics. And they're just going to be like, right, so you've started a war on beans, yeah? And that was fine. That was bordering on cruel, but I could deal with it. And then there's just going to be those pickle guys that are just like, yep, you've gone over the line now, guys.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that are going to be against me in the fact that I don't like pickles.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of people that like it, but to be honest, I don't know. And
Yeah.
I bet anything that we're accidentally, like inadvertently, continuing the hashtag Team Ewan or hashtag Team Andrew.
The thing is, they're gonna go from hashtag Team Ewan and Team Andrew, and they're gonna go against both of us, and they're gonna start hashtag Team Pickle.
Hashtag Team
And
Pickle.
slowly, we are going to lose another war to the pickle jar. And it'll
Just-
be
just
an
the jar.
emotion. It'll be an emotional vote of no confidence pickle jar thing.
You just mentioned the cursed words
Well, I
that
didn't-
link with the
I
B
didn't.
word.
I didn't. No, the reason I used that term of phrase was I was like, people wanted us to talk about it,
We'll just hint about
but
it
we're
throughout
going
the
to
way.
hint.
Throughout.
So then they can't say we haven't covered it. We just
we
aren't
have the
covering
keywords
it.
in here. Yeah.
We aren't covering it, but we're also not covering it.
You see, if the pickles on the right want to vote that many times towards the cucumbers on the left. But yeah, I'm not going to go any further into it because I don't know anything about politics, same as Andrew. Anyway, I love how we keep revolving back to it.
Welcome back to Ewan explaining politics to vegetable growers.
Two vegetable growers.
Anyway, so we've discussed some of the cultural context of last episode's video a bit further now, and people are gonna be like, "Oh, what are you gonna talk about now?" And honestly, don't know.
Just continue with
I
films and
don't know.
TV.
I mean, we could, although we could also delve into another genre,
Music.
music.
Great
Look
minds
at
think
that.
alike.
Connections. It's almost as if we didn't talk about it before recording.
I know.
They
They don't know that.
You don't know that, apart from the fact we have just told you. Anyway, so music. This is gonna go back to something that me and you have discussed ever since we've known each other, is our differences
In music.
in music, in sport, in life in general,
Yeah.
all of those things. The only similarity we have is we are people. I believe.
We are people.
We are people who have come together to make a podcast in which half of our audience likes one of us and half of our audience likes the other one.
I love how half the audience is just going, yeah, I like him, but I don't like him.
Yeah.
But we'll keep the show in the first place anyway.
We'll just keep it. It's like an Ant and Dec situation all over
I
again.
just don't like either of them. I don't like...
That's another difference we
Yeah.
just found.
But do you like... them?
I do like them. I think that obviously one of them has obviously had a tough time, and I think people have to like understand that anyone in the public eye, like, I'm not saying that anything's right, but I think people have to understand that people have flaws, even though they're famous. There is flaws there.
There's both sides to the argument, because you've got, just because they're a celebrity doesn't mean they should be let off, but at the same time, just because they're a celebrity doesn't mean you should rip into them further more than they would be normally if they were just a normal civilian that wasn't famous. So with the whole, was it a car crash? I can't remember.
Yeah, it was something along those lines. We won't get too far into it because this is again another tangent, but
Yeah.
my thoughts on it in the end is that in some ways you shouldn't overdo it, but also it highlights that everyone's human, everyone makes mistakes, and I think the fact that he did that and that happened to him, I think highlighted to a lot of people that even though you look like you're doing the best job in the world,
Yeah, you're in the spotlight, everything's perfect for you. There's always behind the scenes.
yeah, there's gonna be like a sort of a second version of yourself.
Yeah.
But
Because there's always, I can't remember the specific phrase, but there's always that phrase that people use where you've got like a camera face or screen face or TV face. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a facade you put on.
yeah, like a persona.
Yeah, star persona. That's it. That's the word the words I was looking for.
And obviously we like to think that we will come across within the same light as each other would come across if you talk to us at any point in our lives. But who knows? We could be fake.
Just entirely, we just hate each other.
Yeah, we secretly hate each other. I was asked to come here this afternoon. I wanted to stay at home, but I came.
Everybody was nagging you. I mean, when I was walking home,
I got nagged a lot.
Yeah, whereas me, I didn't, because I'm the person who has the studio in a sense.
Yeah, it's like, oh,
I get
what do
nagged
you-
to edit once we've recorded it. Once you confirm we've recorded it, I get nagged to edit it.
Yeah.
But then when we've released it, you're the one that gets nagged to come over.
It's like, oh, what do you want me to do? Just break into Ewan's house and just
record an episode while he's
episode.
asleep.
And then I'll just do some impressions of him, just like,
Oh
yes,
God.
Andrew, I think that's very good. I know that was really bad, but I was put on the spot.
People
there.
probably think that it's good. I don't know.
I
Try
don't
do
know.
it with a slight Scottish
Wait,
accent.
you just say something.
Something.
No, not the word something. Say like a sentence.
Okay, sorry. Hi, my name is Ewan. Welcome to the podcast, which we'll probably change the name of.
Hello, my name is Ewan. No, I can't do it.
You sound like you're airing it out. Like, hi, my name is Ewan.
It's like me just on like a sort of darker day. Like it's like a depressed me. Like your like not your voice. The impression I tried to do of your voice
Is
was like
you,
a
but on a
deeper
dark
version
day.
of me. Like a deeper version of my voice, because I was like, Ewan has a more masculine voice than me. So I was like, I've got to go deeper, and it just didn't work. Anyway, we'll leave that. We're gonna go back to music, I think.
Was it Ed Sheeran you liked a lot? Was
Yeah, I mean, it's not that. It was the fact that the new album came out when we were recording the first 8 episodes. Yeah. One of which came out. The other 7 were eaten by the dog.
Yeah, the homework cannot be handed in,
This-
unfortunately, audience. It's because my dog ate it. I don't own a dog, but you know.
We do. We have dogs. We have two. Wait, he has 2 cats, which means that the 2 cats can sort of join together to become a dog.
To be honest,
That's my rank.
Just megamorph together.
That's my currency. It's like 2 cats for a dog.
I mean, my cats whenever
They're quite small. That's
Yeah.
my thought.
But they're vicious wee things. I mean, I scrunch up my paper and stuff like that whenever I'm like done with a question paper, because say maths, for example, it annoys me. So if I don't need the paper, I'm gonna crunch it up and throw it. And my cats love to play with them as toys. And I always come back in the next day and I'll hoover up because they've ripped it to shreds. So technically, I guess we could come across with the excuse that the cats ripped up our 7 episodes we didn't upload.
They just went to town on the desk.
Yeah.
Got the computer on the floor.
We got the hard drive and just scratched out the specific spots they needed.
Punched it.
Yeah.
Kicked it.
They somehow used a screwdriver with opposable thumbs. I mean,
Wagged the tail all over the screen. The monitor was done for. I mean, we could have still used it. It's not like water getting on it. It was that much cat fur. It was just inhumane to keep using it.
Static. We had to throw it in lava. It didn't deserve a dump.
It didn't. I was worried for the bin man that had to deal with that. I was concerned for his well-being. If you are out there, bin man, I hope you're okay. Anyway.
It's just some guy drowning in like cat fur.
Yeah, it's just some guy that's just like, oh, not that again.
It's just like balls of fur
like,
crawling up him.
There's just the boss in the office who's just like, right, Kyle. That's his name. Kyle, you're gonna have to deal with that again. It's another cat fur job, mate.
It's really funny, like the boss points at him, Kyle, and then the camera pans round, and it's just this guy covered in fur, like stuck
like,
still.
Boss, I've been in the shower. I've tried to get it off. Not
the
again.
static won't go away.
Not another computer monitor that has been distinguished by these cat overlords we now have. Like they've just destroyed all technology, and he's just like I've just noticed on the desk as we're recording. He has a book called How to Tell If Your Cat is Plotting to Kill You.
I got that as a present.
Yeah, that I'm now worried. I'm stuck in a house with 2 cats with that book.
Should we read it?
No, we're not reading it. We're not reading it. If you want us to read it and give our personal book club take on it, then we shall. Anyway, we have tangented.
A lot. We need to get on with music.
We've gone from music to killer cats that will take over the world one day. And if they do, I want one of those Watch Mojos. Like 5 times Andrew from TPWNN just predicted the future. When there's just a cat Prime Minister of Britain.
Cat Prime Minister of Britain?
Yeah. You know The Simpsons, how they like predict loads of things. I want
Predict in quotations.
I want that to happen to me. I want my own
You want
video.
You want your own Watch Mojo.
Yeah.
That's a feat that most people don't want because most people don't like Watch Mojo.
I'd take it.
I mean, I take it because it's publicity, but at the same time,
I
no
just
offense,
take it.
I'm not one for Watch Mojo because the voice of that woman.
Yeah, but I just wanted to say Andrew. I feel like
just say Andrew.
Just be like, I've made it. Just like go home to my family.
I've made it on Watch Mojo, everybody, and
like,
it's just like a group of guys.
Just be like, I did not become a biologist, but I have been Watch Mojo'd.
Can we get a round of applause? Can we get
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we're back to music. So
Act 2, you mean starting?
Maybe.
Right, what we'll do is, instead of tangenting, we'll just go straight on. What kind of genres do you like?
No comment.
No comment.
No, that would make a really bad podcast, that wouldn't it? If every time you tried to speak to me, I just went, no comment.
Sounds like a police interview.
Yeah.
All they do is say no comment.
But, yeah, I mean, the thing with genres is, it's hard, do you get what I mean? To say, oh, I like this genre. Because the second you do...
Everybody's like, oh, so you've heard of this?
You've heard of this, and you like this. Oh my god, is that your guilty pleasure? And I'm like...
No, I just like listening to that specific song that's part of that genre.
Yeah. So if I was like, oh, I like pop music, people are going to be like, oh, so you like Justin Bieber and all that sort of stuff.
Cardi B
and it's like, I'm part of that generation, and like, I know I'm not old enough to be part of a generation.
Yeah.
But, like...
We're still pretty young in comparison to, like, the scheme of things.
I think when you're young, you are very much pop music. Like, it's very much now, whatever they're on, called music.
They got past 100 now. I think they're on 103. I think that's the most recent one.
I think we are not caught up in that spec enough to talk about it, but I think that's what you grew up with, so you sort of liked those musicians. And then
as you get older, sort of into adolescence, your tastes in pretty much everything, fashion, music, just develops.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I think there's a sense that with music, it's like TV shows, clothes, you know, like what you do in your spare time, hobbies, sports, all that sort of thing. Everything you do will be judged.
Because it's in relation to what other people like.
Because people are like, you like this reflects on you.
Yeah.
And
there's one song that you've probably not even heard that's in the genre, this massive genre, like I can't think of an example. People who play games. I'm sure loads of people who have heard you say, you know, adults like your mum or dad or whatever, you say you play GTA 5 or something. That's really...
Never have.
Well,
but yeah, carry on. Never have, just for the
yeah,
record.
So say you play GTA 5. Most or at least some parents, I don't know, because obviously it depends on your parent, obviously.
There's judgment.
You know, there's judgment with it because it's been given a bad name,
and
therefore the older generation, in a sense, have just got that permanent, fixed idea that it's a bad game. Nobody should, you know. And the moment you say, "Oh, I play games," or "I'm a gamer," or something like that, everybody's like, "Oh, you've got no job. You're never gonna make it in life. You know, you're too violent."
Yeah, I mean, there's that. I mean, there's the parental judgment and all that. But my thoughts on what I was trying to say was that if you go into a place of people your own age, right?
Yeah.
And you say, "Oh, I listen to this," or they see on your phone the song that's playing. There is so much judgment.
Either that, or there is.
There's opposite. Yeah. There's like an opposite judgment or a together judgment on something.
Yeah, I always, whenever I play my music, I've always got my earphones in unless I'm home alone. That's it. That's the only time I ever play music out loud. And whenever, say, I'm in school during the study periods and stuff like that, I turn the screen off and put it down. So if it like does turn on, it doesn't show the song that's playing, because I am actually afraid of people going, "Oh, that song's bad. I don't like the fact you listen to that," or something like that.
Or it's designed for a specific group of people.
Yeah.
And you are not that people. But you know, music is an expression, and I think sometimes you just like a song because of the music. Sometimes you like a song because it relates with something that's happened in your life. And I think people have to understand that even if it is designed for a target audience, you can still like that song.
I mean, for specific, I mean, you were mentioning how it's for a specific reason, say family-wise, I guess you could say. I mean, with my dad, hi, if you're listening, you'll know you like David Bowie, or Bowie, however it's supposed to be said, heroes.
I'd go Bowie.
Bowie, I'd say Bowie
I'd
as
go
well.
Bowie.
But, you know, heroes,
mean,
because of, I know your specific reason for it, but it's...
Rest in peace.
What?
He's dead and I respect him.
Right, I was thinking... You're saying rest in peace for my dad?
No, I'm rest in peace into Bowie because he's an absolute
he was
legend.
a good legend. And you see, we've said that, and now some people might say that they don't like David Bowie. But there's also the opposite end of that scale to do with music, because music helps people in a sense of depression and anxiety. And I've also found, because I'm sure everybody's seen that video of that student giving a speech who has a stutter or a speech impediment, and then he puts music in his puts music in his ears, and then he can better than he could say his speech. And he was on the news, I think, about 3 days ago or something like that on BBC One, and it just reminded me of that, and I was just thinking that's amazing in the sense that music can help in such a way that it has that power, that rhythm to give you, like a person who can't speak normally, the ability to do so. And I just thought it's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, well, I think personally, and you know, I think we're going to both share now some more personal experiences, but I when I listen to my music, if I've had like a hard day or a good day, I'll still listen to the same music. And whether it's for a good reason or a bad reason, for that hour or 2 hours or whatever I'm doing, it just
soothing
sends everything away. Like you don't have to think, because if you put your earphones in, you physically can't think. Like, obviously, I do it working. Yeah. But you can't think about outside the work and the music.
Outside noise isn't coming in because you've got your earphones in or headphones on or whatever it is you listen to your music with. You know, it's an escape. Some people just can't hear it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, because obviously this is episode 2, so there's not, obviously if you're listening to this and you're not a friend of mine or Ewan's, and you are listening to this first time, welcome. Thank you for listening. You won't know too much about us, you won't have the context of our lives, but I am someone who likes to write stories and likes to think of ideas to write stories, songs, film, TV, that sort of thing. And I find when I listen to music, I get inspiration for that specific thing, because I think music, and then I think the story within the music, and then I think, how could I adapt that?
Yeah. I mean, I'm not sure who produced it. I believe it's Youngblood. He was in the Hobbs and Shaw, the Fast and Furious film. I think I mentioned it last episode, but he made a song. It was a redo, a cover of Time in a Bottle. I think it was 1973, the original one.
Okay.
And he did a cover of it, and then I looked further into his music, and there was this one. I think it's Youngblood. Correct me if I'm wrong. If anybody knows, it's a song called 11 Minutes, and it's basically about how if he had 11 minutes, he would save his girlfriend, obviously ex-girlfriend now, from a car crash. And it's just, not only do people just make music for the hell of it, because some people do that, don't they, obviously, but some people get inspiration. For example, I think it's Youngblood who did that, but also, like George Ezra, he goes to places, and he stayed in a person's place who's called Tamara. Stayed there. Made the entire album called Tamara.
Staying at Tamara's,
Staying at Tamara's.
And that is a heck of a good album if you haven't listened to it.
I'd recommend that, actually, because I like George Ezra. So
that's the sort of thing I mean. Like, I think George Ezra would be seen as an indie/pop. And I think that's where...
But he's unique in his own way. It makes him identifiable, and I love that.
No one can... I think in modern music, and this is something that's so amazing, is that no one can be put in these, like, set genres. And I think when you say, oh, I like George Ezra, people go...
What genre is that?
What genre is that? Or isn't that for blah 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 blah?
Yeah, because there's such a wide range of them now that, and also there's still some developing in a sense that they can't be put in one specific one. Like,
Yeah.
you've got indie and rock, therefore indie rock, they become its own one.
Yeah.
And they just keep developing more genres, and it comes to a point where they're not included in one or many at all. They're just their own type of unique music.
And I think from my sort of view of it is I am not into the sort of, and I'm going to offend a few people if I describe it in the way I will, the sort of screamy rock, like the punk rock, the
Screamo.
Yeah, even certain bits of just general rock and metal music, I'm not a big fan of it. But that doesn't mean I don't respect those artists. I think what they do is amazing. But that's
so in a
not
sense,
my
you
sort
don't
of thing.
like Marilyn Manson?
I'm not going to lie, I don't know who that is.
Don't worry about it. He does that music, just rock in general, metal, everything like that.
And
So yeah.
And I've grown up with people who are doing amazing things in like music now, and like are trying to see themselves out of there. And obviously, coming from Sheffield, there's a big sort of not rock culture, but like an indie rock culture.
Yeah.
So like Arctic Monkeys and that
love
sort
them.
of stuff. I'm a big fan of the Arctic Monkeys.
I couldn't name songs. That's the thing I find with me, actually. I can't name songs or artists, but I know the tune. So if I just hummed a tune to you,
Yeah.
it'd be me asking you, what is this
What
song?
is it?
Because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know who made it or what the song name is.
Because like with Arctic Monkeys, I don't mind Oasis, but I don't go deep into that genre. It's just I know them from being sort of northern bands. I
Yeah.
respect that.
You've got one or two songs that you like from them, and
Yeah.
then that's pretty much it.
And you delve further into the back catalogue and you enjoy it.
Thank you, I needed that.
And I think with that sense, people are like, oh, that's sort of cool. Because I think there's a big culture when you're sort of a teen to like
Go to
rock
play, yeah.
and that sort of thing. And then when you say,
You gotta listen to this, you
yeah.
gotta listen to that.
and then when you say, oh, well, I listen to this singer or this singer, people are like, huh, you are clearly not cool.
You are a lobotomite.
Yeah, you're clearly not cool. But I think the coolest thing that you can do, and people are going to say, this is cringy, or this is not the coolest thing you can do. I think the coolest thing you can do, as somebody, whether you like music or not, whether you write music or not, or if you just listen to it casually, whatever you do, is just enjoy the music you enjoy.
Yeah. Don't let anybody else change your music taste, because that can happen. It's like, I can't remember the specific, I think it's dogma, which is where you are shaped by other people's experiences. You become other people's lives. You don't follow your own path. I think it's dogma.
You sort of become their
life experiences and their life in general.
You become their second.
Yeah, you're not your own person.
But for me, I think the biggest, and it's something we mentioned earlier, the biggest one that I think is so amazing is Ed Sheeran. And I know he's so publicised now, and so many people like his music.
So many people see him as mainstream as well.
But the thing with him is that if you say, oh, I like Ed Sheeran, people immediately think, thinking out loud, perfect, the sort of, and it's great music, don't get me wrong.
Lego House, people sometimes think of. I mean, it was a semi-mainstream one, Lego House, wasn't it?
Yeah, my point with those two songs is that they are quite romantic and sort of, maybe some people would describe as namby-pamby.
Namby-pamby, I've never heard that phrase before.
Like, as in, well, you've got to be careful, but you've got to say it like, it's sort of maybe a bit more lovey-dovey.
Lovey-dovey, yeah.
Yeah, so for me, I like those songs, but that's not the reason I like Ed Sheeran. So if I say to somebody, I like Ed Sheeran, people...
They'll think, oh, you like romantic songs.
Yeah,
but
and you like
don't.
that wimpy stuff.
Wimpy.
Like, some people describe it as that, though. I'm just using quotes from other people.
Like people
I mean,
who like Lewis Capaldi.
immediately you
are
put in a box.
Yeah.
Because
But I don't think that. I think because, I mean, I like Lewis Capaldi. People are also probably going to hate me here. I only recently found out he was Scottish. So that just makes me like him even more.
I mean...
You couldn't tell from his music.
I
mean, it's not like the Proclaimers
think
where you can hear it in the
yeah.
songs.
I mean, but I think you can. I think there's a little bit where you can, because I think like if you, and we'll get into this later, because again tangents, but he does other videos that isn't singing, so you can tell.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. It's like your case with Oasis. You only know one or two songs or something like that. Same with me with Lewis Capaldi. I only know one or two songs. I don't follow him like religiously or anything like that, so I wouldn't know. And then you pointed out those Tinder adverts he did or something like that.
If
and
you
then I
haven't seen
realised,
them, watch them. We're not going to describe it because we can't be bothered.
Yeah.
But equally,
they're good adverts.
But equally, you can get more enjoyment.
Yeah.
From watching them yourselves without us telling you what's going to happen.
I'll put them in the description.
Yeah. But back to like the Ed Sheeran thing was that he has just released that new album, and when I say just, I mean it was a few months ago.
Yeah.
But in that he works with people that you wouldn't expect from that thinking out loud perfect genre. You know, Eminem, Chance the Rapper.
Yeah. I don't know the list of people.
Loads of other people.
Just loads of people. Yeah.
It's sort of cult rapping heroes as well, like Eminem, and people are gonna hate me. People are gonna hate me because I can't remember the other one that's on the song. That's on Remember the Name. People are gonna hate me because I can't remember, because it's Eminem, and then it's one other big. 50 Cent. 50 Cent.
That's it.
And yeah, those two to get on that. I think that's what people have to understand, is that I say I like Ed Sheeran. It's not because of the lovey-dovey stuff. It's because he has that range that is just amazing. And I think another one, if you haven't listened to it, this new album came out number 6.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what people maybe don't know or have known because number 6 came out was that before the orange sort of cover.
I know he did like Divide and Times and Plus and stuff like that.
Before that, number 5 came out, which is like an EP. There's 8 songs on it, and it's very sort of, I think people would class it as grime / rap.
Yeah.
But he is incredible at immersing himself into these different genres, which is what I like about him.
He molds it to himself, doesn't he?
And within that way of doing it, that's what I would describe my music taste as, is I can evolve into other genres. Don't put me in a box.
Fair enough. I mean, when it comes to my music taste, I don't know a lot of mainstream pop. I mean, people say, I can't think of an example because I genuinely don't know.
2019 is... I wouldn't be able to tell you what's on the radio.
I wouldn't be able to tell you anything about any mainstream pop from any year, other than the extremely popular ones that somehow make it into people who don't listen to mainstream. I mean, I think Cardi B's a singer, isn't she?
I'd say she's more of a rapper.
All right, well,
I would say
we'll say Cardi B.
People are going to attack us on this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh,
I don't listen to mainstream.
She's just a singer with some flow,
and then
and then people are going to be like, no, but she's so much more than that.
Yeah, so she's a rapper. Just got some context.
I'd say she is.
Yeah,
I
haven't listened to anything. I just know the name. That's it. I haven't heard anything. I just know the name. That's pretty much it. So I don't know anybody like that. But then I go and listen to non-mainstream stuff. I'm trying to think of an example now. I'm sure. I mean, a few people may have heard of Glass Animals. A few people may not have. Exactly. So it's not a mainstream thing. It's not played on the radio consistently, and they're also in their own space. Going back to the genres thing, are very unique. I think it's called Season 2, Episode 3, or the numbers are switched round. But that song is, they basically got a bunch of conversations in like a car and stuff like that between two people, and then just turn them into lyrics and then put them together. But it's a unique song. It's different.
Yeah.
It's just talking about. I mean, one of the lyrics is eating mayonnaise out of the jar. It's just stuff like that. It's unique and it's random. I'll play it for you afterwards.
I mean, the thing is with music taste. Obviously, you were saying that about your dad and like David Bowie. In that same sense, I would say my music taste has also been shifted by my parents. Like my mum was more of, when I was growing up, but is a Take That fan.
Yeah.
And through that,
I think every mum Does it take that far?
Yeah, it's from a specific time. But I think through that, I think people will judge me for saying I like their music. But it's just the reason I like their music is that it reminds me of those car journeys, of those moments in my life where even if it was just being picked up from school or going to Devon or Cornwall on holiday, and my mum would just have the albums ready. Like she'd just be, all right, we'll start off at like, I think we'll start off at the first album and then we'll go all the way to the current, or we'll go from the current to the first.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it just that's why I like the music. It makes me feel like I'm at home.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to being shaped by music for me, when I was a kid, going to sleep, for example, when I was at my grandparents', I also have a sentimental song. It's called Stranger on the Shore by Akabelk.
Okay.
And it's literally just a guy playing a clarinet, and it sounds cringy, and it sounds boring, right? But I linked that with my granddad, who has passed away, unfortunately. But it's just that it's sentimental. And then when I was with my dad, in the flat, stuff like that, he'd play music for me and things like that. So when it comes with me and my dad, ever since I was a child, he'd play music through his laptop, and because of his generation, he'd play stuff from 60s, 70s, some 80s, some 90s, you know, the popular ones.
Yeah.
Because, don't quote me, he'll probably say something about it after he's listened to this. He's not one for 80s, 90s. In comparison to 60s and 70s, he'd take that over 80s and 90s.
Okay.
And I, as a kid, because of that, like pretty much all genres of music.
Yeah.
Because of that, I like David Bowie, Sam and Dave, you know, stuff like that. Just nice oldies music.
Yeah.
And I like that.
All
because because nowadays everything's washed down, like pop music. It's repetitive.
Yeah.
They always use the same 4 chords. There's this comedy group, I can't remember what it was, but they took the mick out of a bunch of songs for having the same 4 chords. And they were mainstream pop songs, and they all used, you know, G, C, E, all that sort of stuff. And it was all mainstream songs using the same 4 chords.
Okay.
And that's why I like older music as well. So my range of music ranges from everything from, say, I don't know,
Early 60s.
Early 60s. I mean, I've heard stuff from the 20s that I've liked. Only like one song, though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's still that range. So anything from like 21 to now, I've got a range. I genuinely have that massive range of music, almost a century range of music that I like.
I think the thing that is with music is that, yes, modern music can sound the same, but I think up until like the turn of this decade, from like 2010 onwards, it got very similar.
Yeah.
But certain music I like from that turn because it relates.
Yeah.
And that's the only time is the lyrics. And I think lyrics is what, like, a catchy
make
tune
or break a song,
will click, but the lyrics, and if you can feel that within that artist's heart,
the story, the
there.
passion behind it. And I think also, because everything, I mean, to me, I don't know about everybody else, but to me, stuff's become washed down. It's all sort of similar.
Yeah.
I mean, Andrew's nodding. You know, stuff like that. It also accentuates people who are unique, like Rag and Bone Man. That man is amazing.
Yes, I have to agree. Obviously, anyone who, I'm not going to say anyone who doesn't know. Everyone's not going to know.
Yeah.
But my grandfather was in an incredible, and I'm not bragging. They were incredible for, you know, the low keyness of what it was. They were part of a male voice choir, and when I listen to Rag and Bone Man, there's that gospel.
Yeah, it's the same feeling, atmosphere. That's it. That's what I'm thinking.
I wouldn't say my granddad was ever in the choir that he was in, were ever to Rag and Bone Man's heights. But when I listen to his music, I feel that connection with my granddad and the heritage of my family that were always, like, so many generations were in this same choir, and for me, there's the connection there, and that's what I like. And people can say, oh, why do you listen to that? But there's so many connections, and that's why I like music, because people will have different opinions, but the things that you can come together with
creates a
is
community.
incredible.
Yeah.
Like if you watch any concert, sort of highlights,
Yeah. Gig
the
videos,
amount
stuff
of
like
people there that, there's so much sort of going on in the world, but just for that hour and a half, or if you're just listening at home to 3 minutes, you just the enjoyment and the excitement and the feeling of being sort of in a group of people that all like that music, or even if you're just even if you're the only one that that likes that music, you just feel connected, and it's just
because you're in that I guess you could say like a mosh pit. When you've got all the people in the standing area, stuff like that, jumping to the music, you all of a sudden realise that you sat there to your 3-minute 43-second song while you're doing your work or just having a nice relax, stuff like that, listening to your song, and then you go to this gig, and then you realise how many people have been in the same situation, listening to that music, maybe not the exact same situation, but they're still listening to the same music that you like, and you're all there pretty much, I guess you could say, praising this person as they're playing their music, and it's a great sense of community.
Because a lot of people don't get, I speak to a lot of people about music and albums, and they don't get when on the end of an album there is a live version of a specific song, or a song that the artist hasn't done themselves, but they have sort of performed it at a festival, because a lot of artists do that, don't they? They pick out a song that they really like, and if it's catchy and if the audience can get it straight off the bat,
they know which one,
they'll know the song, they enjoy it, and I love listening to that, in and out of the actual singing bits where they go, right, so I want you to do this and I want you to do this, and they have a laugh with the audience. That atmosphere is just it might only be a 7-minute song, but it's a 7-minute song because of it. And it just makes you feel so amazing, because you may not have been there. It's
a feeling that you have to experience for yourself. It's not really able to be explained. I mean, quite obviously, because I went to a George Ezra concert. And he was just having a chat with the audience as everybody was setting up different things, and he's there having a sip of his water or whatever it is, and he's talking to everybody's shouting back at him. It was great, and it was just great to know that they not only make this music, but they seem. I say seem. I mean, they are human. They are down to earth. They have their own personalities. They are their own people.
What I think is amazing is that it can be done in so many different ways as well. If you listen to certain live versions, you will see them having a laugh or a joke, or some just having general conversation, and there's no right way to do it.
You just do it. No.
You just do it because I've listened to, going back to Sheeran, I've listened to a lot of his live stuff, and that's incredible, his sort of banter with the audience. Or if you watch Lewis Capaldi, I watched a BBC One version of one of his concerts, all the way through live, and he was up on stage, and even though what he was singing about may not have been uplifting, his persona on stage,
how he comes across to everybody else, uplifted it in a sense,
in the in-between bits, and this is gonna get so many people, and people are gonna be like, why are you even mentioning this, because everyone knows this, but the best performer I have ever seen, and I wasn't even born when he was around, and some people are already clicking, Freddie Mercury. That man and his stage presence and his ability to just get the audience and just think, right, 2 hours, and it just seemed so casual, didn't it? He was almost, and I'm saying almost because people are going to be like, he wasn't, because some people won't like the music. He was almost godlike.
He created such a, I guess you could say, foundation for, say, specific communities that now are more accepted. Because at the time, obviously, it wasn't, but nobody cared, because everybody liked the music and everybody saw him as a proper I don't want to say idol because that's become washed down by like.
But he was.
Yeah, but he wasn't
Like,
idol.
you'll say today this music is legendary and this person is amazing and they deserve to go down in the history books. He does.
Yeah.
Like some people that you say today, and that is no disrespect to them, but he does. Like, and it sounds so. Any words we say to describe that man will be so futile.
Yeah.
But it's just
Incomprehensible.
it's just I just had to mention it because what I liked so much is his backstory, and it's not the music. It's if you haven't watched it, and again we're not going to describe it because it's up to you guys to watch it. Bohemian Rhapsody.
Brilliant film.
People have picked it apart, saying this happened then, and this wasn't in the time period.
Yeah, this was wrong.
Blah 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 blah. But seeing his almost the way he was manipulated and the way that he dealt and the way that he was down sometimes and all that, and the way he picked himself back up, and no one knew.
Yeah.
I can't imagine, like, no one knew, and there'll be so many people that go through the exact same thing, whether famous or not.
Celebrities now.
They will just they will go so down, and then put on a persona. But I hope that film has reached out to people who may be like that and think he got on with it.
Yeah.
And
that guy's a legend. That if he can get on with it, anyone can.
Yeah, because the things were shocking, but obviously, I think another thing is the way he went from, right, I'm not great right now, on stage, that Live Aid performance, and just killed it. Dead. Like, people were like, oh, where's Freddie Mercury? He's disappeared. He's not in the newspapers. He's not performing. And then he goes, and it's just, bam, it's Freddie again.
Yeah, he's in the newspapers. He's in everything. I mean, anybody who's ever played guitar, I don't know whether it's like a general thing, but anybody who plays guitar or likes rock a lot, specifically oldies, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, I saw where that was going.
He will go down in history as well.
Yeah, I mean, I like that you mentioned that. I have a respect for him. I'm not into that music.
I love it. That's just me.
But my respect for a talent will always be there. Like, I'm not a big fan of rugby, but if I see a player and I think he has it, in his discipline, he has it, or in dance, if I see a dancer, I'll be like, yeah, that is status above the rest.
You're unique in your own field. I mean, it's the same, except I'm on the opposite scale for you, because you don't like rugby, I do, and you like football, I don't. So for me, it's I don't watch football, but when I hear about this one player who's done this really well for England, say, I don't know any football teams. People are not going to be happy about that, but I don't follow football. You know, obviously you got to commend them because that's their profession,
and they are a cut above.
Yeah, they are above everybody else, and that's what makes them, have that publicity. And it's you can also have bad publicity, but you can have good publicity when it comes to anything, sports, music, whatever it is, anything in life. But I don't know where I was going to go with that now.
Yeah, I think what you're trying to say is that when you reach that height, where you are the best at what you can be,
so easy to fall as well.
It's so easy to fall, but I think, and I would never wish it on anyone who gets to that height, but I think when you see that person at their lowest, like on a film or a documentary that's done after their life or during their life,
based
on
on
later
them,
stages, and you see that they had that deterioration, it makes you like them more. It makes you respect them more because they pick themselves back up.
Yeah.
And I think with music, it's so easy to see that every day. Because I write music. When I write music, it's because I have had a bad time sometimes. Sometimes it's because of good times. But I think writing music and just sitting there and just thinking, and I will never profess to be very good at it. Yeah. But it just gets the story across in a different way that just helps. But like with the music, it's not that there's it's because it's music.
Mm-hmm.
It's because something happens, you put it down on a piece of paper, you record it, you do whatever, it's out your head.
Yeah. So it's a release in a sense that you can release your ideas, and then when people then listen to it, it's their release in their own way as well. So it's a continuous loop, and the fact that obviously the replayability of any song, because you can play it with today's technology consistently without any worries.
Yeah, I think because the one thing that everyone has to remember is that no matter how far you go in any situation, someone else is experiencing it.
Yeah.
Maybe not at this specific time, but somebody, somewhere, will
be having that experience.
Yeah. And I think that's what music does so well, is that you have that experience, and someone maybe in America has that experience, and then there'll be one concert. And like you were saying, those people will have been sat at the desk writing or doing their work or whatever, and you meet. You might not speak,
and it's a
but
sense.
You know.
Yeah, you have that like moment where you cross eyes. You catch each other's glances, and then you realize, damn, we're in the same boat. In a metaphorical sense, you're in the same boat, listening to that music that you both like, and that's how friends.
Yeah.
I mean, in a concert, friends are made there, obviously, because everybody likes that
without
music,
speaking.
Yeah, and that's it.
Without speaking, and I think everybody. I think the one thing that most people will say is that with hurt and with any situation you go through, happy, sad, whatever, just knowing that you're in a group of people who are supportive and are similar or anything like that, it just lifts you so much more.
Yeah.
And that's what I have always had with people in a creative sense. When I was growing up, I maybe wasn't musical, but I liked being around musical characters. Yeah. People who will now probably go on to do music, production, that sort of thing. And I wish them all the best of luck because they got me through. Because when I was a kid, all my friends were football, and I love football, don't get me wrong. Yeah. But I was always a bit different. You had your own little sense of it. Just to go back to you make friends without saying anything, I was just looking up, so communication without talking, you talk with body language 55%. Yeah. Of what you're trying to get across. People know who you are from how you act. Body language is 55% of your communication to other people. So without even having to say anything, you're getting basically half your point across. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I love that idea and I like that there's science behind it. But unlike, and again, I'm not going to suggest that I'm different in this way, but I like to speak to people and speak to them for maybe a week or 2 weeks. Before I get to properly know them or dismiss. Dismiss, yeah. Well, not dismiss, but as in get out of my office. No, but as in I'm I don't care what other people say about you. I don't care about how other people see you or what you may have done. Yeah. It's what you do to me. It's whether you're okay with me, whether you respect my ideas and my boundaries and what I need from sort of a friendship or whatever. Yeah. And I think if you are okay with me, I am okay with you. That's where I am at. That is who I am. I don't judge. And it's going to sound cringy, I don't judge the book by the cover. Book by the cover. I don't judge my books by their covers. I read the blurb. I read the blurb. That's when I judge them. I read the Sun's review. Yeah. When you read the blurb, that's like knowing them for a week and then making a decision whether you like them. If I see the Oprah Winfrey sticker book club on it, I'm yes. If
If I see the penguin marker on there, it's my book.
100%. Obviously, the penguin thing. I'm going on a work experience thing with another publisher, so I might now be about to not go on work experience with them if they are listening at all.
I thought they would kick you off for the fact that you talked about penguins on a podcast.
Yeah, but I've said that their importance is better. Anyway, we won't get into that. But yeah, I think that music is a brilliant way of bringing people together. It's a brilliant way of learning interests, knowing who you want to be around and who you don't. There's obviously loads of other factors to that, but music is one of them.
Yeah.
And I think
there's a multitude of variables, but music. I
music
mean, when it comes
gets
to me,
there.
because I love music, music's a main part of.
Who
I guess
you are.
like if you've got like main factors that contribute to who you are, music would be one of mine. Definitely. So it's one of the things that I look for when making friends and stuff like that.
Yeah,
their
you'll
music tastes.
say, "Oh, what do you listen to?" And then they'll get cagey about it because everyone does. But,
yeah, it's music. Everybody gets cagey about that.
Everyone's like, "Do not look at my phone. If you dare look on my Spotify, you will be killed." You know, it's like seriously, man. I have the plastic fork. Like it's like.
I have the spark at the ready. Do not touch my phone. I will stab your hand.
But no, I mean, like it is a weird thing because we are very cagey about it, but we love it.
I think we shouldn't be. I think
as a society,
we shouldn't be. But there's the unwritten rule that for some reason we are, because we feel, because music has become such a huge thing in everything in society, because it's such a large industry, it's become something that people keep to themselves because they think of it as a personal idea in a sense. I don't know how to say that. I don't know how to say it. It's just a big thing in society.
I think there's a lot of it, and I think for me, when I was growing up, with the football, is I love football, and I love playing football. But there was times where I thought, if I did this, what would people think? Because I like singing, I like dancing, I like the idea of acting, all those sort of performing senses, and that's now what I want to do with my life. I want to present, I want to act, I want to sing, I want to do what I want to do. Do you get what I mean? Yeah. I know that sounds like a reference from like Footloose or something, but like but at the end of the day, I've got to the point, and I know it sounds weird because I'm literally about to turn 17 in like 2 weeks.
And I am 17.
I've reached that point in my life where I'm just like, I don't care. Like, I genuinely don't care, because if you don't want to go on that ride, then you don't have to come with me.
Yeah.
But if you do, then I will respect you more for it.
This is my own person, and if you don't agree with it, there's 7.5 billion other people that could go on this ride.
There's got to be one of them out there.
There's got to be. There's plenty of fish in the sea.
I hate that.
I hate that. I hate that phrase so much.
It's like saying you're lonely and we're going to make you feel better while patronising you.
You're like Nemo, can't find help finding his dad in the sea.
It's like saying, oh, so you're single and alone, which means, so to be single and alone, there will be another fish out there.
But you gotta go fishing.
Don't need to know that there's another fish out there. You just
know.
It's
know. Obvious. There's like, 7.5. At least last time I checked, there's 7.5 continuous.
Another one was added this second.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know what the birth rate is.
I don't know statistics or anything. But, oh well.
That's interesting, actually. There could be either. That's gone depressing. Anyway,
we'll leave that.
But yeah, I think that that with music as well is when you have said to those people, this is what I'm going to do. Like with the podcast, I said, I'm going to do a podcast because that's what I want to do.
Yeah, and then people were thinking, it's like bully material.
Yeah.
But then everything that happened, everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, and people were like, Andrew is this, Andrew is this, Andrew fits in this bubble, blah, blah, blah. I am one of those people that has not got a
one specific box
friend,
like
a specific best friend, specific best friend, but I have a group, like I go here, I go here, I go here, I'm in the ocean. I'm happy. There are so many fish. No, I'm joking. There's like no, I'm not using that analogy. But my thoughts are there's so many people that I like knowing for that reason. So we reconnect on that level, on that level, on that level, on that level.
For example, me and you, the podcasting.
Yeah, the podcasting. Then I've got my friends from football and sport. Then I've got my friends from music. Then I've got my friends from drama and all those sorts of things.
And they all convolute together, and it's become separate friendships, but you have those friendships that you can
that I know that they're there for me.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I got to a point where I wasn't 100% who was there for me.
Yeah.
But I now know.
That's the only downside of having so many, I guess you could say, friend groups or just groups of people you can go talk to, because you can never find one specific person who is there for you.
Yeah. But I think now I have that. I think I would say I have that. And I think I will always say this. I say this to so many people because people go, how come you don't have an enemy? How come people don't hate you? And I go,
I don't talk to them.
People do hate me. You just don't know it. No, I go like, if someone doesn't like me, people are going to be paranoid now. If I don't like someone, or if I don't get... It's not that I don't like anyone, I just don't get on with certain people.
Yeah.
So if that's the case, I will just say hello. I'll see them in the corridor, or I'll see them in the street, or wherever
it is, yeah.
And I'll just go, hello, how are you? Blah, 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 blah. 5-minute conversation. Go. And then the people I really are friends with and like, and if they are okay... The thing is, I am friends with you if you're okay with me.
Of course, yeah.
Like,
not just you. I wouldn't invite you into my house, into my own personal studio, would I?
If you're, not just you, but if anyone out there is okay with me and they do stuff, like they're like, oh, do you want to do this? Do you want to do that? Or it's just, are you okay today? That sort of thing. And they want to speak to me.
It does boost people's moods, though. I find having people say hello to me, whether you're gonna have a full conversation with me or not, I don't find it as a conversation starter by just saying hello to somebody when you're walking past, but it does lift my mood, I find, if people do say hello to me in the corridor. And people who know me in school don't take that as a just say hello to me and take it as a joke.
I'm going to take it that way every day. I'm going to just be like, hello.
Yeah, like, you could do that. But in the same time, now that I've said it, that actually will actually lift my mood sometimes.
No, but the thing is, I'll just be like, I'll go hello, I'll walk past you, and then I'll come back deliberately just to say hello again. Yeah. And I'll just keep doing it in different ways until I've exhausted every way of doing it. And then
say
we'll
in different
restart.
Languages. Yeah.
I'll be like, bonjour, hello, senor, bye-bye, bye-bye, and then hello, again.
I swear that's a song.
All that stuff. It could be.
I think that is a song. Like,
if it isn't, I'm patenting it.
Patenting.
And if it is, then that is incredible because I've just looped it straight back to music. That is a presenter's dream. That's like the dream.
That's the tangent, and then it just all of a sudden doing a loop back onto the mainstream. Topic. That's great.
So, we've had a wide range today. We've had a wide loop. A wide amount of topic, and for anybody who is wondering, just to make it very clear, Ewan wants you to say hello to him. He's that self-centered, I know. Jeez.
God,
Jesus Christ, man. Whoa. Just, get over yourself a little bit. But,
just to clarify.
He's dying now.
I'm dying. I don't mind if you do say hello or anything like that. Just, I'm not self-centered. I'm cutting everything out now.
No. We won't. I would like to clarify that he isn't. He's a very grounded human being, and he's a very much. He's dancing. He's very much.
I'm being complimented. I'm happy.
I mean, he's very. He's very kind in the fact that he allows me to do this, and I would like to thank him for that. And obviously, I just joke a lot, and that was a joke. But
yeah, of course, yeah.
And that's the thing. Like, people have to understand with me. I will say things that I don't mean.
Are you the kind of person that even in a bad situation will joke about it to try and make
I will
themselves feel better?
over-lighten the mood.
Over-lighten.
Like,
I love
it's
that.
like
That's
it's
brilliant.
like where you
Over-lighten.
you and if that's not a word, I'm patenting that as well.
Jeez.
I'm patenting everything today.
To conclude the episode, Ewan wants you to say hello. Andrew can't say patenting and is patenting everything, but can't say it.
I'm
and-
patenting ting.
Penting ting ting.
I'm patenting that. The word that I have come up with, which means the same thing as patented. Anyway, no, my thoughts with overlighting is that if other people around me are happy, there's a buzz around the place, I'm like, happy.
And you continue to do so.
And
you can
wholesome.
be so sorry.
I'm like,
You are wholesome.
I'm like,
You are wholesome memes.
I am a wholesome guy. Suck it. Suck it,
I'm a
Keanu
wholesome
Reeves.
guy. Suck it.
No, we'll edit that because we don't want anyone having a go at me.
No.
But yeah, I think for happiness' sake, if other people are happy, I'm happy, and if Ewan wants to be helloed, I guess that's the word, then...
I do want to be hello, but don't take the mick with it, would you?
No, but I mean, obviously, yeah, I think that there's little things that everyone can do to lighten mood. I think music is definitely one of them, just to
Yeah.
keep it on topic.
I know with music, we've briefly mentioned, it's hinted at to do with mental health. The other day it was Mental Health, Awareness Day or something. I think that's how it is.
Yeah, of course.
Said.
Yeah.
But it helps in that sense and everything like that. And I always found music to be my escape or karma, as it were.
Mhm.
That or games. I'm sad, I know. But,
I mean, we can. The thing is, obviously, it's a discussion that we all have to have, and we felt wrong not mentioning it.
Yeah.
It would have been wrong because we are very much light-hearted, so we didn't want anyone to. We didn't want to do an episode and people think
it's only the
being
second
light-hearted.
episode. Yeah.
If people want this, then we are happy to do it later on.
We'll put in brackets not light-hearted next to it or something.
No,
like that.
but obviously there's things, and I think if you want to know more, the people are going to be like, why is he doing this? But I would like to shout out another podcast, which is done by Dave, the TV channel.
I've watched that one.
It's called The Calm Podcast, which is the campaign against living miserably. If it's just a load of comedians and famous faces who literally just talk about their experiences. So if you want to know a little bit more about that, go and check that out.
It'll be in the description. I'll put it in the description.
Because we didn't want to cover it today because we wanted it to be...
Yeah, we're trying to be light-hearted, but at the same time we're trying to delve a little bit into... I don't know how to say it.
Sort of more current issues.
Yeah, current issues, but at the same time also current happy things.
Yeah, but of course, anything you want us to talk about, we are happy to talk about. And
I think we should leave it there today.
I think we should leave it there because you're probably sick of listening to us. Anyway, so we are happy to take suggestions for names.
And for episode ideas.
Any other things you want us to relate into our work. And, of course, if you want to see an hour-long bean debate, then we're happy to do it.
Yeah, B-word debate.
A bean debate, a B-word debate. We're sorry if we haven't mentioned it, but obviously...
We've hinted at it
it's
throughout.
Not something we've wanted to do, really, because we will offend a lot of you, if we haven't already, with many different topics.
Beans.
Beans, pickles, music taste, life in general, my
Concerts. My existence.
Ewan's need for being
Say it,
hellowed.
being hellowed. Your
your many
inaptability
analogies.
to say patented.
Patented. I can say patented, I just can't say patenting, because it's very hard to say with a brace on. Patenting.
You have to sound really posh whenever you say it.
Patenting.
I love how we said we're going to wrap it up and we talked.
Well, we're going to wrap it up now.
Yeah.
So, guys, I would like to thank you for all the support that we have had over the last episode from me and him.
Thank you very much. Yes. Thank you.
Of course, I'm now going to do one of my patented goodbye speeches, I would like to wrap it up now. So goodbye. I hope you have a lovely day, and thank you for listening.